of Burkina Faso, the land of the upright people, is a leader, one who never fails to surprise us. And he has continued in his Pan-Africanism leadership, in his commitments to break away from neocolonialism, to break away from the shackles of neocolonialism. He said, literally, I will not rest until we are at the end of this road. That was a speech he made on the eve of the year 2024. And even if there is a news that he's about to step down as promised in July 2024, to leave the place from military election to so-called democratic election, but he's doing his job. For me, I think he's like a man who's running against time. He like a person who knows his time is very limited. You know what I mean? So in any case, he has shared this speech with his people. Let us hear it together, okay? Without further ado, I just wanted to share this video with you, and we will hear it together.
Most of you who are young like...
First of all, let me just say, this video, the credit will belong to the YouTube channel Africa is Powerful. So thank you very much again. I just want to give him publicly, give him or her the credit. Yeah.
Me, we were born in the system. But this is not what can allow Burkina to live. Because in this situation, there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight, or we remain slaves forever, I tell you once. And there are some who are slaves in the head. They can only serve their master. And these people, each time they try to manipulate you, you must advise each other. Because each situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So you must advise each other and do not pay attention to certain words, even on certain media. Everyone is not obliged to be a patriot. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the country. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writing, you must close your ears and move forward. We must remember something. Recently, there was a so-called NGO. It is not even an NGO because an NGO is a non-governmental organization. But they are not non-governmental because they are financed by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports to say that the FDS and the VDP are carrying out executions. They came in and left here. It is to stain your morale. It is to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Besides, we will take this NGO into account because people must understand something. What is happening to us here? It is true that they have manipulated a part of our population in the Sahel. But they did not have this armament. What led to this important armament? It is Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It is this NGO, the same NGO that made these false reports and gave to whoever wanted to create a rebellion for people to intervene and make Gaddafi fall. And the powder is spilled in the Sahel. These millions of lives that were taken in the Sahel, we must take into account this NGO, because it is responsible for these false reports that it made to consolidate this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us. Look at the world. Let them defend human rights everywhere in the world before coming here. We have the chance to have similar situations in this world. You are engaged voluntarily. There are countries where we take force, we kill. You leave or you die.
D'autres, même en voulant fuir, finissent par mourir.
Others, even if they want to flee, end up dying.
Parce que ces gens nous voient comme des sous-hommes.
They do not speak of
Ils nous
human
voient comme des
rights
esclaves.
because these people see us
C'est
as
comme ça dans leur
subhumans.
tête.
They see
Ils
us
n'ont
as
jamais changé
slaves.
de logiciel.
It's like that in
Mais
their
c'est à
heads.
nous de les
They have
montrer
never changed their
qu'on est
logic,
des esclaves et nous
but it
n'avons
is up
jamais
to
accepté
us to show them that we are not slaves, and we will never accept this
Il n'y a
state of
donc
affairs.
pas à se laisser berner
So there is no need to
par
let yourself
l'histoire
be
qu'ils racontent
overwhelmed
à qui
by the
veut
story they
l'entendre.
tell.
Il faut
Whoever
rester
wants to hear
concentré
it.
sur votre
You
combat.
have to stay focused on your
Restez
fight.
concentré.
Stay
Nous, nous savons ce
focused.
que nous faisons.
We know what we are doing.
Même actuellement,
And even now,
nous
the
avons
commander of
des
BBDP told me that there is a training session on human rights for the benefit of group leaders and their subordinates, which is
Si nous faisons des
ongoing.
efforts, nous savons que c'est pour nous. Nous
If we
faisons
make
plus
an
quelque chose
effort,
pour plaire à
we
tout le
know
monde.
that it is for us.
Nous
We
le
do
faisons
not
pour
do
notre
anything to
patrie.
please anyone.
Et
We
vous
do
êtes
it for our
engagés pour
country,
ça.
and you are
Défendez votre
committed to
patrie.
that.
N'écoutez
Defend
pas
your
ces
country.
individus-là. Ils ne
Do
doivent
not
pas
listen to
entacher
these
votre morale.
individuals. They should not affect your morale.
Dans l'histoire du monde, il y a eu des guerres.
In the history of the world,
Et pendant
there
la
have been
Seconde Guerre
wars.
mondiale,
And during the Second World War,
les peuples se
people
sont
organized
organisés pour se
themselves to
défendre.
defend themselves, a little bit everywhere.
Mais il y a un pays qui ne pouvait pas se défendre.
But there was a country that could
était
not
obligé de
defend
venir prendre
itself,
nos
that had to
ancêtres
come and take our
pour aller les
ancestors to
défendre.
go and defend them.
Et aujourd'hui, ce même pays veut nous donner des leçons.
And today, this same country wants to teach us the hospital that laughs at charity.
Non. Vous êtes les descendants
No,
de ces mêmes
you are the
ancêtres
descendants of these same ancestors who went to defend the others, who freed the world from Nazism.
Aujourd'hui, vous vous battez pour vos terres. Ces mêmes
Today, you fight for your
individus osent
lands. These
créer
same
des termes
individuals dare to
pour vous
create
salir.
terms to dirty you.
Nous opposons à cela. Nous ne serons
We
jamais
oppose
d'accord.
this. We will never agree.
Continuez à défendre vos terres. Ce sont vos richesses qui intéressent ces gens.
Continue to defend your
Votre
lands.
or, c'est
It is
vos
your wealth
minéraux
that
qui les
interests these
intéressent.
people. It is our
Sinon,
gold,
pourquoi
our
venir
minerals
chercher
that interest
des
them.
gentils pour s'accaparer de nos terres? Donc, nous allons combattre et nous allons
If
récupérer nos
not,
terres. Nos
why
richesses,
come and
ça
look
nous
for
appartient,
entire
c'est à nous,
villages
c'est
to
à nous
take
que
our
ça va
lands?
profiter. Et à
So
nos
we will
enfants.
fight and we will recover our lands. Our
Je
wealth
vous
belongs to
encourage
us.
donc à garder
It is
en
to
mémoire
us that it will
que cette
benefit
guerre,
and to
c'est
our
pour nous
children.
sortir de l'esclavage.
So I encourage you to keep in
pour notre
mind that this
indépendance.
war is to get us out of
Et vous
slavery.
devez garder le
It is
moral.
for our
Restez
independence.
debout.
And you must
Et
keep your
jamais
morale
céder
high. Stay up.
aux manipulateurs,
We will never give
à
in
ces
to the
individus qui ne
manipulators,
savent
to
que
these
cette notion de
individuals
patrie,
who no longer
ou à
know
ces
this
gens qui
notion
viennent
of
de
homeland,
l'extérieur
or to
pour
these
essayer de
people who
nous
come from the
dompter
outside
à travers
to try to
leurs
tame us through their
termes
terms
qu'ils
that they
ont
invented
inventés,
and their
leurs
organisms that they
qu'ils ont
invented
inventés
to
pour nous
serve us.
asservir. Combattez, avancez,
Fight, move
faites
forward,
tout ce que vous pouvez
do
faire.
everything you
Puisez,
can.
comme j'ai dit,
Dive, as I said, into your
culturelles,
cultural
dans ce
resources,
dans quoi vous avez
into
été
what you have
forgés
been
depuis le
forging
village.
since the village.
Puisez dedans.
Dive
Faites
into
cette
it
guerre.
and wage this war.
Restez concentrés.
Stay focused and stay up.
Vous êtes ces gens-là qui ont osé.
You are those people who dared to take up arms to support the different forces of defense and security,
Pour lutter,
to fight to recover our lands.
ce n'est pas permis à tout le monde. Chacun à son
This does
niveau
not apply to
peut faire
everyone.
ce qu'il peut.
Everyone at his level can do what he can.
Sont dans le commerce et
Others are in business and contribute.
essaient de communiquer pour vous encourager.
Others try to communicate to encourage you.
Essaient, en tout cas, chacun de sa position.
Others
Faites
try
ce
to
qu'il
do what
peut.
they can.
Mais vous avez décidé de
But
prendre
you have
les armes.
decided to take up
faire
arms and
face.
face them.
On aime de dire en temps de guerre, il y a deux types
We
de
like to say
citoyens.
that in times of war, there are two types of
Les
citizens.
porteurs de tenue, on
Those who
appelle
wear
les
uniforms called FDS,
doivent
who
aller
must go
vers la
towards
mort.
death.
C'est
It is their
leur devoir.
duty.
Et les civils qui doivent fuir. la
And the
mort.
civilians who must flee death because they are not trained for it.
Mais dans l'histoire des peuples, il arrive
But in the
toujours
history of
ces moments
peoples,
où vous vous retrouvez
there is
confronté,
always a moment when you find yourself confronted with your existence.
soit vous vous battez ou vous disparaissez.
Either you fight or you
Aujourd'hui, le
disappear.
Burkina fait face à son destin.
Today, Burkina faces
C'est une
its
question
destiny.
d'existence.
It is a question of existence.
Et à ces moments cruciaux,
And at this
parmi ces
crucial
civils
moment,
qui devraient donner d'eau à la mort,
among those civilians who
vous avez
must give water to
décidé
death,
de prendre les armes et faire face. et
you
avoir
have
moyen de
decided to
faire
take up arms and face and support your brothers in arms.
Nous ne pouvons pas
We cannot stop paying tribute to you. We cannot stop magnifying you. We cannot stop glorifying you. You are from Burkina Faso, and that is all we have asked. You have faced the enemy without knowing the enemy, without having the same capabilities as the security forces. But you have faced it. Many of you have paid for their lives, but you continue to resist. What can we do to improve your working conditions? That is combat. First of all, the FDS has existed for several years, but it was not equipped, especially the notion of individual weapons. I think that this problem is more or less solved. All those who are VDP in the villages today have weapons. Anyway, there are still many who want to join, I am sure. All the villagers might want to be VDP, but we will go step by step. Because we have also asked the civilians to contribute, as I told you earlier, up to a level that should allow you to take charge. That is why in January we decided to go to another level in terms of prices, but also in terms of taking charge to injure and ensure a certain minimum. The equipment will continue, and everything that can be done to accompany you, it will continue to grow. As we advance in the fight, you are identified, you are known, and you are a block in the different communes. That is why I ordered that we order clothes to start equipping little by little. But the ideal for me is not to buy clothes from abroad. We need to be able to design new types of clothes for you, and we want these clothes to be made here. That is why we are accelerating the establishment of the factory that must produce our clothes, because I want there to be a particular model, a special outfit for this army that has the BVDP too. So this is a question that will be resolved. And what is more normal is that you are dressed by ourselves through our cotton that has been transformed here. But I urge you to never lose focus. We must not be surprised. We must not sleep. We never lower our arms. Today, look at the volume of terrorists who attack Burkina Faso. Did you imagine that there was such a thing in Burkina Faso? They were there, covered in darkness, what we call dormant cells, because those who kept us in this situation, the day they wanted, it was enough for them to say to the government, we did this. If you refuse, they will activate, and we must fight. These are enemies of the nation. They decided to attack their country. We must fight them. It is without mercy. The other thing is between yourselves. You must overcome a certain number of events and do not let yourself be manipulated. When there are events, we must avoid making interpretations or let ourselves be manipulated. Our country has long been in a very complicated system.
So you have watched President Ibrahim Traore'S speech. That was an extract of a speech, actually, but something I wanted to share with you. This is, I just want to, I will not take so much time, but let me just say what he said, and let me just repeat that. He said, we must not be surprised. We must not sleep. We must not lower our arms. So there could be, so the first part that says we must not be surprised, those that seems, that talks always like a Pan-Africanism talk, a Pan-Africanism walk, but then again, you will see them one by one leaving the way and surprising you. So there will always be such a thing, since we have talked about President Ruto before. So I think for me that's the highlight. Like, we must not be surprised. This struggle is not an easy one. Our ancestors paid a price for this, to give us, a free land. But of course, to make it really a meaningful free, it's up to us. And this man is doing his best in his limited capacity, operating under the circumstances of a lot of sanctions. But he's thriving. He's thriving. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. If you want to help us further, please donate to our PayPal account. You can also share the video with others. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.